The chime of the bell beckons us into a sacred time. We gather tonight to celebrate the holy mystery and significance of Christmas, a reminder that the birth of one baby can change the whole world. Welcome to Christmas Eve at the First Unitarian Universalist Church of Houston. We extend a heartfelt and inclusive welcome to those watching online and to people here in the sanctuary. Feliz Navidad y bienvenidos a esta comunidad donde ampliamos el círculo del amor, honorado el valor y la dignidad inherentes de todos. This is a multi-generational service, and young people will stay here with the adults to experience the readings, songs, and candle lighting. Please help these children feel warmly welcome here. Now, please join Savannah and Chelsea for our first carol of the evening.
Please rise in body or spirit and join me in singing our first carol of the night, Deck the Halls with Boughs of Holly, hymn 235.
La Christmas is almost here. The babe is soon to be born. Dreams of peace fill the fragile earth. Prepare the hearth. The babe is soon to be born. Warm the fire against the gray cold. Set the table for the promised guest. But we are unready. The babe is soon to be born, yet still in the human heart, each speaks unkind word to others, or fails future's hope. But the babe is soon to be born. As the dark of winter brings the promise of newness to come, spring and new life await. The babe is soon to be born. Christmas is almost here. Let joy shine and sparkle. Come, friends, let us worship together.
Please join me in reading the covenant found in your order of service. Love is the spirit of our congregation. Service is our prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek truth and love, to encourage one another, thus do we covenant.
During the last several Sunday services, including Sunday evening's winter solstice vespers, we've been lighting the candle of the Advent wreath to mark the approaching Christmas and solstice holidays. On Sunday, we lit a solstice candle, completing our journey around the wreath and the wheel of the year. Now, daylight lengthens, and the year turns toward the light once again. From December 14th through December 22nd, we also lit candles on a menorah to commemorate the Jewish holiday, Hanukkah. Candlelight emanating from the menorah symbolizes the creation and sustenance of the Jewish tradition. And tonight, this Christmas Eve, we again kindle the lights of our Advent wreath. We begin our journey around the Advent wreath by lighting a candle in the south, honoring the element of fire and rallying hope. We then lit a candle in the east to celebrate the element of air and to invoke peace. Third, we lit a candle in the west honoring the element of water and celebrating joy. Finally, last Sunday, we lit a candle in the north, symbolizing both earth and calling us always deeply to love. Some say the circular shape of the Advent wreath symbolizes God's unending, infinite love for creation. Tonight, may we remember that each life is a miracle unto this world. And we are both the source and beneficiary of infinite love. Let these candles bless us and bless those that we love. May we come to know that which lies within and find the new year to be a good one. Blessed be.
Tonight, we read ancient texts from the canonical and non-canonical Gospels as a reminder that Unitarian Universalism has long been a heretical religious tradition. In ancient times, people who held theological views similar to those held by contemporary Unitarian Universalists were cast out of the Christian church. Their sacred texts were censored and destroyed. By reading their words together, we honor the tradition of religious freedom that is at the core of our own faith. Likewise, we take words from modern texts and from those outside of the Christian tradition because we believe that revelation is not sealed. Religious stories point toward great human truths. Those truths can be found in the wisdom of those around us, just as they can be found in the words of our ancient scriptures.
Do you remember me? I sat upon your knee. I wrote to you with childhood fantasies. Well, I'm all grown up now. Can you still help somehow? I'm not a child, but my heart still can dream. So here's my lifelong wish, my grown-up Christmas list. Not for myself, but for a world in need. No more lives torn apart, that wars will never start, and time will heal all hearts. Everyone will have a friend, and love will never end, and right will always win. This is my grown-up Christmas list. What is this illusion called? The innocence of youth. Maybe only in that blind belief will we ever find the truth. No more lives torn apart, and wars will never start, and time will heal all hearts. Everyone will have a friend, and right will always win, and love will never end. This is my grown-up Christmas list. This is my only lifelong wish. This is my grown-up Christmas list.
The ancient testimony. The ancient testimony is from the first chapter of the Gospel of John. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was in the beginning with God. All things came into being through him, and without him not one thing came into being. What has come into being in him was life, and the life was the light of all people. The light shines in darkness, and the darkness did not overcome it. Here ends the reading.
This modern testimony is the poem Song About Mary by Adrian Mitchell. Mary sat on a long brown bench reading Women's Own and She. Then a slimy haired nit with stripes on his collars said, "What's the baby's name to be?" She looked across the Marks and Spencers, through the dirty window pane. "I think I'll call him Jesus Christ. It's time he came again." The clerk, he banged his ledger and he called the cruelty man, saying, "This bird thinks she's the mother of Christ. Do what you bleeding well can." They took Mary down to the country and fed her on country air. They put the baby in a Christian home, and he's much happier there. For if Jesus came to Britain, he would turn his dizzy head. They'd nail him up on a telegraph pole, or he'd raise the poor from the dead. So if you have a little baby, make sure it's a legitimate child. Bind his limbs with insurance and a mortgage, and he'll grow up meek and mild, meek and mild, meek and mild. Here ends the reading.
This ancient testimony is from the 19th surah of the Quran. Thereupon she conceived him and retired to a far-off place. And when she felt the throes of childbirth, she lay down by the trunk of a palm tree, crying, "Oh, that I had died before this and passed into oblivion." But a voice from below cried out to her, "Do not despair. Your Lord has provided a brook that runs at your feet, and if you shake the trunk of the palm tree, it will drop fresh, ripe dates in your lap. Therefore eat and drink and rejoice. And should you meet any mortal, say to him, 'I have vowed a fast to the merciful and will not speak with any man today.'" Carrying the child, she came to her people, who said to her, "Mary, this is indeed a strange thing." She made a sign to them, pointing to the child. But they replied, "How can we speak with a babe in the cradle?" Here ends the reading.
This modern testimony is the poem Joseph by Lynn Ungar. Can we take a moment here for Joseph, the guy at the back of the nativity scene, the unwitting stepdad who didn't ask for any of this missagus of the kings and stars and angels spaking and all that. Mary is a badass who speaks for a God who casts down the mighty from their thrones, and the baby is somehow, incomprehensibly, also God. But Joseph is just a guy who is doing the best he can under circumstances that range from trying to terrifying to tragic. He knows how to build things. He has no clue what to do with a kid who runs off to preach to his elders in the temple. Most of the time, he is bewildered, caught between loving his odd little family and sensing that the story might be heading off on the wrong track, with nothing he can do. He would give anything to tuck them back in that smelly stable where he could hold mother and baby safe inside his arms, but he can't. The story is full of drama and complication, and he is never the hero, just someone like the rest of us, trying to make sense of it all, trying to let the bit part that he plays somehow count, trying to keep following that star even when it goes invisible in the harsh light of day. Here ends the reading.
Please now open your teal hymnals, this one, to number 1061. This congregational anthem is called "For So the Children Come," and it's written by our Unitarian Universalist ancestor, Sophia Lyon-Fawes, who was instrumental in advocating for and establishing religious education for children. This will be sung as a refrain, meaning I will speak, and then you'll sing the song with our song leaders. For so the children come, and so they have been coming, always the same way they come, born of the seed of life.
A time for wandering.
No angels herald their beginnings, no prophets predict their future courses, no wise men see a star to show where to find the babe that will save humankind. Yet each night a child is born is a holy night. Caretakers, families, fathers and mothers sitting beside their children's cribs feel glory in the sight of a new life beginning. They ask, where and how will this new life end? Or will it ever end? Each night a child is born is a holy night, a time for singing, a time for wondering, a time for worshiping.
So, congregation, on this holy night, now we settle for a moment together. I invite you in this sacred dark space to feel your breath and body and spirit arrive, and move in ways you need to settle in. Feel the natural rise and fall of your body with your breath, and extend that some gratitude. Close your eyes, open your ears, open your hearts, open your minds. Christmas comes as the weather changes. Christmas comes as we struggle with our imperfections. We hold on to our hopes. We seek our dreams, and we try to balance our human lives. Christmas comes between too much bustle, strife, pain, and hate. But Christmas comes amid a world full of miracles, offering us a time for gratitude, for peace, and for pause. Let us take this warmth and hold it from this year into the next. Let us be filled with the spirit of generosity and gratitude. Let us remember the gift of life and the turning of the earth and the promise that each new birth brings. Christmas comes. Let us be ready as we are able. Amen. Now we call aloud the names of those in our life that we wish to celebrate or to memorialize this Christmas Eve. Into our sanctuary, into this great cloud of witness and memory, let us speak. For all these names, spoken and unspoken, we bear witness with our love and our deep compassion. There will now be 2 minutes for silent meditation, prayer, or reflection. In silence, we can go deeper than words will ever take us.
shall feed his flock like a shepherd, and he shall gather the lambs with his arm, with his arm.
This ancient testimony is from the second chapter of the Gospel of Luke. In that region, there were shepherds living in the fields, keeping watch over their flock by night. Then an angel of the Lord stood before them, and the glory of the Lord shone around them, and they were terrified. But the angel said to them, "Do not be afraid, for see, I am bringing you good news of great joy for all the people. To you is born this day in the city of David a Savior, who is the Messiah, the Lord. This will be a sign for you. You will find a child wrapped in bands of cloth and lying in a manger." And then suddenly there was with the angel a multitude of heavenly hosts praising God and saying, "Glory to God in the highest heaven, and on earth peace among those whom he favors." When the angels had left them and gone into heaven, the shepherds said to one another, "Let us go now to Bethlehem and see this thing that has taken place, which the Lord has made known to us." So they went with haste and found Mary and Joseph and the child laying in the manger. When they saw this, they made known what they had been told about them about this child. And all who heard it were amazed at what the shepherds told them. But Mary treasured all these words and pondered them in her heart. The shepherds returned, glorifying and praising God for all they had heard and seen, and it had been told to them. This is the end of the reading.
This modern reading is the poem Landscape by Anne-Marie Jacquier. The trees have been entered into a war. Unregistered civilians resisting not with hands, but with roots. Lemon, orange, pine, almond, olive. Trees recalling the stones from Achaia. Decades ago, they were younger. Storms blew from the coast. The fate of the Jaffa groves will be yours. They'd wondered if they'd have the same end. Wind carried stories of stolen trees, slain in stone, and birth exploited and now growing. In a Tel Aviv shopping mall. War is feminine. Revolution is feminine. Dangling suffix, fruit hanging bitter. Flags change. Languages change. Lovers carving names, sucking citrus. And the trees have changed. War heroes, lonely like men, resistant as women. Here ends the reading.
Please rise in body or spirit and join me in singing our second carol, hymn 259 in your gray hymnal, "We Three Kings of Orient Are."
Mountain, This ancient testimony is from the first chapter of the Revelation of the Magi, an account of the revelations and the visions which the kings of the great East spoke, who were called Magi in the language of that land, because in silence, without a sound, they glorified and they prayed. And in silence and in the mind they glorified and prayed to the exalted and holy majesty of the Lord of life, to the holy and gracious Father, who is hidden by the great brightness of himself and is more lofty and holy than all reasoning. And in the language of human beings is not able to speak about him as he is, except as he has wished, and when he has wished, and by means of whom he wishes. And never his heavenly worlds nor the lower ones are able to speak about his majesty, except as it is fitting for the will of his majesty to reveal to the world, so that they are able to partake from the gift of his majesty, because his majesty is great, and they are not able to speak of it. Here ends the reading.
This modern testimony is Full Interview by Heba Hayek.
Please, can you explain what you fear in your country, who you fear in your home country?
On the first page of my transcript is a note that my interview officer is work from home today. He uses green screen, a photo of an office space, white walls, dark green window liners. Everything in the space must suggest neutrality. Even the weather and the quickly Googled office background. Pale grayish skin, short sentences, retracted, polite, awkward smiles, all neutral except me. I find it unnerving that the most anticipated interview of my life is happening virtually. The officer is a bit rattled. He's 47 minutes late, casually blames it on the workers, makes an inappropriate joke, and lets me know that recording begins now.
Please, can you describe your life in the Gaza Strip?
I find it hilarious that I'm basically here to report on British Mandate Criminal Code of 1936, which remains in force until today. I spent too many nights holding on to sweet memories to be here now. Around my lips taste like metal as I bite to remember what I spent my entire life forgetting.
Please, can you describe what you are most afraid of if you go back?
A flash of color, gemstones in the sun. Each time I speak of you, my beloved, a fire erupts. I pray it's not war, then somehow war always catches up. I wonder what in the world is worth this much disparity. This is not a perfect story. May I suggest it's exactly the kind of thing that you bury and maybe one day make songs about. This is not that kind of party, no formalities you can step in with your shoes on, because after all, this isn't my home. Under my fingernails, it appears like dark red flakes, and it smells of blood. This is not home. No birds in the palm of my hand to let go. Not enough nights to count the stars.
Please, let me know if you think you need a break.
I think of the way my wet body feels on freshly washed sheets in the summer. Everyone wants to hear how good my life is, except the Home Office.
Here ends the reading. On Christmas Eve, we take up a special collection for the minister's discretionary fund. This is the fund that we draw upon to help members of our congregation. This fund might be used to help people buy food, pay their rent or mortgage or a medical bill at a time when they find themselves in particular need. In the past months, the fund has reached a historic low with more requests for support than ever before. Those in the sanctuary will find instructions for text giving in your order of service. And those watching the live stream will see instructions on your screen. We ask that you give generously. An offering will now be gratefully received. Please join me in the words to dedicate our offering found in your order of service. To the work of this church, which is weaving a tapestry of love and action, we dedicate our lives, and these our offerings.
Please rise in body or spirit and join me in singing hymn 224 in your great hymnal, Let Christmas Come.
Christmas Eve. Lighting candles on this night may be a treasured memory, or this may be your first time gathering with friends and family to pass the light. Christmas Eve, a night when we remember the true meaning of Christmas. A night when 3 ghosts terrorize the wealthy until they agree to pay their employees a living wage. I'm referring, of course, to Scrooge, the iconic holiday curmudgeon. He is but one character of ill repute, familiar to us by a single name, like the Grinch, Maleficent, and Voldemort. Perhaps you can think of at least one other. Ebenezer Scrooge was famously visited by the ghosts of Christmas past, Christmas present, and Christmas yet to come. Countless theaters across the country, if not the world, I just knocked that over. If not the world, recreate Dickens' telling of Scrooge's life-changing adventure each year to packed houses. It has been told by Patrick Stewart as the sole performer on a Broadway stage, reading and acting the story, and in the movies by Michael Caine and the Muppets, among many others. I believe the popularity of A Christmas Carol has led to the confluence of celebrating Christmas and a decidedly Victorian London vibe, much like the Shakespearean English of the New James translation has a long-held association with the New Testament. Of course, these connections don't necessarily make a lot of sense, but hey, it's a white Eurocentric culture, so here we are. Let's don a top hat and waistcoat or bonnet and floor-length dress and sing carols under a gas-lit street lamp while snow gracefully falls. To celebrate the birth of a person whose portraits would lead one to believe he was born closer to Bellingham or Pickering than Bethlehem in Palestine. Scrooge's spectral visitors led me to reflect on my Christmases past and consider the present and future. Thich Nhat Hanh told us, "The past no longer is, the future is not yet here. There is only one moment in which life is available, and that is the present moment." Now, while I wouldn't dream of disagreeing with someone of his spiritual caliber, I think we may be forgiven if, for this one night, we not only embrace the present, but reflect on past holidays and look toward future ones. The first spirit takes Scrooge to Christmas scenes of Scrooge's boyhood, reminding him of a time when he was more innocent. Now, were the ghosts of Christmas past to whisk me away, we would head due northeast to Kentucky. At my boyhood Christmases, my father would wield a home movie camera. You may have seen one of these in an audio-video museum. We can now take video on our phone of any event, from an attractively plated lunch to an exotic vacation, and immediately share it on social media. So to have to use a bulky camera to capture happenings, have the film processed in a lab, to later thread that film through a projector in order to transmit the images onto a screen seems not only obsolete, but downright primitive. Closer, perhaps, to Plato's allegory of the cave than to an iPhone 17 Pro. There exist home movies of me and my siblings descending the staircase, the banister festooned with evergreen and twinkle lights. Now, this would occur incredibly early each Christmas morning. My brother would unfailingly wake up about 4 in the morning and demand that everyone be awakened to see what Santa brought. Now, one thing about me, to which Conrad can attest, I do not like my sleep disturbed under any circumstances. I figured if Santa had come, the gifts would be there at noon as surely as they would be there at 4 in the morning. Which is why I eventually became an art major, so I could sleep until noon. But my brother would invariably win the argument, and we would be stationed at the top of the steps, my brother poised like a racehorse waiting for the gate to open, while my parents went downstairs to turn the lights on the tree and point the movie camera toward us. The previous night, Christmas Eve, the ghost of Christmas past would have escorted me to my dad's parents' house. I remember my grandmother's fondness for those classic bubbling Christmas lights on a skinny tree in the front window and looking forward to her deviled eggs, the best anywhere and created without a recipe. We saw cousins, one set we didn't really see very often because of the personality of the woman who married my dad's brother. We'll just leave that right there. Bless her heart. The other set of cousins we saw more often at both sets of grandparents because my dad's sister married my mom's brother. Remember, this was Kentucky. It was not unusual, especially once cousins started having kids and the number of recipients increased, for my grandmother, a very talented seamstress, to hand make slippers or robes for various family members. Now, Christmas afternoon, we would all converge on my mom's parents' house, aunts, uncles, double cousins, and regular cousins alike. If Grandma Cooper was known for her deviled eggs, Grandma Moffat was known for her potato salad. But she did have a recipe, so I've had better luck replicating that than I have the deviled eggs. The other dish we fought over was what we called scalloped oysters or oyster dressing. The recipe is ridiculously simple. Oysters from a Kroger in Kentucky, crushed saltine crackers, whole milk, and salt and pepper. Amazing. And don't make the mistake I made years ago and try to upgrade it. No Ritz crackers, no heavy cream, no half and half, just saltines and milk or it doesn't work. Now, I've shared here in a sermon before the family recipe for pretzel salad. The name is a misnomer. To any unbiased set of taste buds, this is a dessert. But salad it is called, and served with the other side dishes it shall be. After lunch, we would go into the living room where there was a charmingly old-fashioned tree and lots of gifts. I remember once I got older sitting on the steps looking down into that same living room. I looked down at where I used to station myself amidst the wrapping paper, where now my cousin's children, excited and opening gifts, had taken my place. And I realized that the holiday is best experienced with kids. I guess that's why my parents wanted home movies, to keep alive memories of me, my little sister, and my little brother coming down the steps, sleepy-eyed and excited to open our presents. On that staircase is where, for me, the ghost of Christmas past stepped aside and allowed the ghost of Christmas present to take over. It was no longer about me anticipating and recreating the warm memories of my past Christmases. It was about creating new memories in new contexts. There is only one moment in which life is available, and that is the present moment. I sincerely hope you take the time to savor the experience in the present moment. Soak up the feelings of warmth and joy. See the lights, the smiles. Smell the baked goods, evergreen and candles. Hear the laughter and carols. Taste the treats that are more special because we indulge in them only once a year. Feel the warmth of a fire and hug of a loved one. Tonight, we are here together. I encourage you to really look into one another's eyes as we pass the light from candle to candle, from person to person. Appreciate this Christmas present. The future's not yet here, nor has the ghost of Christmas yet to come visited. But the night is young. By the way, a few years ago, my sister had those home movies transferred to video on a thumb drive, a sort of electronic ghost of Christmas past. so that during our Christmas present and Christmases yet to come, we might reminisce. I watched them again last night, the first time since my parents passed away. My dad wasn't seen a lot since he was the cameraman, but I saw my mom, my brother, and not only both sets of grandparents, but one set of great-grandparents. I realized for the first time how Scrooge, being shown those scenes from his boyhood, could be compelling and perhaps even overwhelming. Scrooge's experience with the ghost of Christmas yet to come was one filled with death, fear, and regret. May I suggest that if that ghost visits us later tonight and his bony finger points to our future, we may look ahead with few regrets and with a heart of hope. I, along with you, know how discouraged we can be this holiday season, watching the news and reading the commentary. But against all odds, this is a season of hope. A season when both Scrooges and Grinches can become less cynical and stingy and more optimistic and giving. A season that is best experienced with kids. And each night a child is born is a holy night. A time for singing, a time for wondering, a time for worshiping. Each night a child is born is a holy night. This is a season of hope. If the ghost of Christmas yet to come appears to you tonight, what might you say are your future hopes? I might ask for no more lives torn apart, that wars will never start, and time will heal all hearts. Everyone will have a friend, that right will always win, and love will never end. This is my grown-up Christmas list. I now invite each of you to turn to those around you and wish them a Merry Christmas. In just a moment, we will begin lighting one another's candles. Now, please remember, this is important, the lit candle always stays vertical, all right? That way, there isn't wax all over your pretty Christmas outfits. So if it's lit, it stays vertical. If it's not lit, it's horizontal and comes and gets lit, okay?
Please rise in body or spirit and join me in singing hymn 251, Silent Night, Holy Night, in your gray hymnal. We are going to sing through the first 3 verses and repeat a 4th time on a hum. Silent night.
is adapted from Candles for Christmas by Howard Thurman. I will light candles this Christmas, candles of joy despite all sadness, candles of hope where despair keeps watch, candles of courage for fears ever present, candles of peace for tempest-tossed days, candles of graces to ease heavy burdens, candles of love to inspire all my living, candles that will burn all the year long.
Please find the words printed in the order of service to extinguish the chalice. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
Son.